got that $1.50 dog in me. I got that $1.50 dog in me. I would like to present to you a Sloppy Joe. That's right. Sloppy Joes aren't necessarily manwich at all, no. No. In my world, Sloppy Joes don't come from a can, and certainly aren't made of the usual form of ground beef that many of us might recall. Oh no, from my land. A land not too far from here, but also an infinity away from my current status. My current place here. Was a Sloppy Joe, corned beef and coleslaw over a dressed roll. Not too unlike this one. This land is known as New York City. And I prefer this form of Sloppy Joes as opposed to manwich. However, all people in Americans would know Sloppy Joes as manwich. So I get it. What I'm saying is, this thing is a manwich, whether it's manwich branded manwich, man. It's delicious. So let's take a look. I didn't do anything all that smart with it. It's just boar's head corned beef with mom's coleslaw. A little bit undersweetened, Mom, I just gotta say. And did I place mayonnaise on the bread, dotted it with little bits of yellow mustard on both sides. I'm not the biggest yellow mustard fan, but I do like it when it's called for. Just needs to have some help. And then, because I'm going insane about it right now, just like my brother did in 2017, I was going insane over how much I love sriracha. At the same age that Jim was. I love jeans. So fucking much I love jeans. I love how true they are. They are so true. But sriracha has made this sandwich so bomb-ass. Which, to those of my millennial culture, means very good. I gotta say, I fucking love Sloppy Joes. These ones. Not the biggest fan of manwich. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying that your manwich is wrong or your Sloppy Joe is not a Sloppy Joe. I'm just saying, this is also a Sloppy Joe. I'm pretty certain this was the original Sloppy Joe. Long before manwich was ever a thing were these available in New York-style delis. Presumably Jewish ones. They know it's good. Truly. They loved my parents' cooking after all. And goddamn do I miss you, buddy. My best friends had the ability of going into things that would look like bodegas. And in fact, while they would look like bodegas, inside were they actually restaurants. Not full service. They were like, counter side. Get what you're ordering. They'll prepare it for you. And these were like halal places. These were halal. Like Adam would go around and just actually support local establishments. He would not go to chain stuff as much. Adam would always try and push off going to the chain stuff. Let's go find something that's special. Let's go find something that's real. Let's go find something that supports somebody from the community. Like that. Now, it wasn't generally what he would say. He wasn't preaching about this shit 24/7 like I might. Adam would act. Adam would live to it. Adam was very good at this, constantly using his Tao to a standard of how he truly felt harmony should work across interests. And all it took was a little bit more critical thinking, right? But I know Adam would probably appreciate this Sloppy Joe over a Man-Witch all the same. And it's about appreciating and supporting places. And if I had the money, I would find me a deli and I would support the fuck out of it. If I had the money, I would find me the bagel place around these parts that truly is victorious, and I would say, you can call these bagels. You can call these bagels. This G.I. Jew is ready to call this a bagel. I hate that, but I don't. It's just pushed back too far. Right? I don't actually hate it. I love my Zap Brannigan curly Q. I love my Zap Brannigan curly Q. That's actually one of my favorite things. We want to flip it up sometimes. Sometimes flipped up, sometimes the head's down. It just doesn't matter. We've been in stasis lock a little bit here. My friends, was it today that I was looking for a Pepsi Plus? Just a trace that Pepsi Plus was in fact a real thing. Again, I've got that all beef dog. $1.50. Alright. And so Pepsi, what I would like to say here is that on your Wikipedia page, I know you don't run this directly, nowhere on it exists your Pepsi Plus product, which would have been available around late 2013 through early 2015. Pepsi Plus is much like what it is in this variations list, right? Fictional drinks. Pepsi Perfect, a vitamin-enriched Pepsi variation shown in Back to the Future Part 2. And it's set in the year 2015. So, I know what Pepsi Plus was, and it was, in fact, prophesized. Pepsi Plus really does exist. Pepsi Plus really does exist. I can't fucking find it anywhere. I find proof that Coke Plus exists in 07 to 11. But then the FDA starts coming down on them about the fact that it is using plus as a term on its beverages, which would mean that for Coca-Cola itself, Diet Coke Plus violates the act. It's just the idea that its nutrients would have to contain 10% more of the reference daily intake or daily reference value compared to the usual amount. And I guess it didn't fit the RDI requirements, but in fact, why should Plus have that brand? Plus doesn't mean that to anyone. What the fuck? Who uses the term Plus to refer to dietary substances as something that needs to contain 10% more or more of reference daily intake? Plus is a marketing term. What scrutinizing consumer knows to look at the term plus behind any marketed term or marketed logo and say, that's something that has to contain 10% of more of the reference daily intake. Which now it meets the dietary requirements of 97 to 98% of, quote, healthy individuals in every demographic in the United States. How the fuck does plus mean that? This must be vestigial. There must have been a culture right, a standardization to the plus term in marketing back in the day, where plus really was used to suggest some level of dietary addition in terms of supplemental intake. It's weird. It's a part of the reason why I can't find Pepsi Plus. They may have been in some kind of weird gray area territory with the FDA. But what I'm asserting is, if Coca-Cola does it, Pepsi does it as a part of its competition. So just like you can go ahead here, right, and reference the fact that, you know, there's Pepsi, looking for it, Pepsi Vanilla and Pepsi Lime. It was released in the US and Canada as Pepsi's answer to Vanilla Coke. Same with Pepsi Lime. Was it released to compete with the lime in the Coke Nut advertising of 04? Maybe it was later, but it was already in there, and you could get it at some restaurants and whatnot, right? But in fact, Pepsi goes essentially to compete with Coke for a lot of the stuff it is that they do. And that's why it is Pepsi Plus existed as an answer to Coca-Cola Plus products. Or maybe it was the acesulfame potassium that made it taste so fruity, the Pepsi Plus. Maybe. I remember the Pepsi Plus, I purchased it at a Wawa in Central Jersey, beautiful Dayton of South Brunswick, New Jersey, in Middlesex County. And it was the Wawa known in the area as Five Corners, right? Five Corners, not Five Coroners, Five Corners. And in 2014, did I purchase at least 3 or 4 of these products with my parents' money? Were they the witness to me asking and affording it? I cannot find any trace of Pepsi Plus anywhere as made available from the Pepsi organization, right? The only place that you can go and get Pepsi history and history of products that they range across Europe and, right, there's very few of the ones in the islands here. Right, it's very bizarre. I would have expected more, right? This list used to go into the various Pepsis that were made in the islands. As, right, they have removed all of the flavors on these that used to go into what was distributed and tested in the aisles when they were attempting to learn what would addict people to what flavors there the most. It was primarily Coke that would run this as well. So maybe I find more reference to this on Coke. As Coke's stronghold in the Caribbean islands is strong enough to furnish entire shanty communities with Coke advertisements. That's what they made their houses out of. Coke advertisements. That's the same trip I got this chain. And I don't find reference to this. This is weird to me, but just stating that, I'm pretty certain I've found a lot of Caribbean entries on these lists some years ago, like 3. I was very curious, that's why I know to be going back to it. But more than anything, I think it's really fucking weird I find no reference to Pepsi Plus. Let me show you. This is the one place. This is a marketer from 2014, their interpretation and their logo of the Pepsi Plus logo. That's what their Pepsi sub-brand would look like on Pepsi products. Looks good, honestly. It's like really, I love the additional Orbeez, but I do remember there being a little Rainbow area. This may have actually been the product. This may have run. Good job, Holly. Honestly, great graphics design work. The way it is that I assert it is, why is this the only... Why is this the only... This is it. This is literally it. Let me show you. Again, Pepsi Plus was a vitamin-infused beverage. Pepsi Plus was a vitamin-infused Diet Pepsi product that I found available in Wawa in South Brunswick and Dayton, New Jersey, right? In 2014 for sure. I believe it was available like maybe mid to late 2013 through early 2015. At least. I would have been there until April 1st, 2017 to see it. But I don't remember seeing it past 2015. It had like a quarter, anywhere from like an eighth to a quarter of your daily values of a larger deal of vitamins. I think it wasn't like A through zinc. It was like 8 to 12 vitamins. But, and again, it might be the Sl0ppy potassium here that they speak of here in Coca-Cola Plus that made it so sweet tasting and differently sweet from the aspartame that was usually found in Diet Pepsi, a drink that I had drank like my primary source of hydration since the age of 4 or so. I got that $1.50 dog in me. I run into the circumstance where I just can't find it. I'm trying. This Family Guy hepatitis, LOL. Maybe keep on the you know, the CDC's surveillance on hepatitis. Just, you know, maybe a good move. Nothing. There's Holly Crooks's versioning of Pepsi Plus. Mentos experiment. Gone. Like, literally buried. Literally buried. So I do Pepsi Plus, I could even say with vitamins. Because honestly, this is a formulation of Pepsi that I want to assert. See, there's Diet Coke Plus again. I was drinking Pepsi Plus. PepsiCo introduced vitamin-fortified versions of their Diet Colas, including Diet Pepsi Max, which contains niacin, vitamins B6 and B12, magnesium, and zinc. See, this is potentially... they're talking about, but no, Pepsi Max, Diet Pepsi Max, right? It's so weird about it. Pepsi Plus, now with added vitamins and minerals. And but this is the marketing. This is Holly's marketing that we already found here. This is not a real advertisement. So 7-Up Plus made it happen. And so they didn't... There's no reference that I'm finding. And was it not marketed as Pepsi, Diet Pepsi Max? Pepsi Max is what Pepsi Zero Sugar was first marketed as. Pepsi with a higher amount of aspartame. And maybe sucralose a bit. But it was the thing that tasted more like regular Pepsi. It's the thing that, right? But was still a 0-calorie beverage. I don't remember that having any vitamins in it. I remember Pepsi Plus. I remember Pepsi Plus. And no, I'm not going to be, I do remember the rainbow, so there's Diet Coke Plus. But why does it rolls off the tongue? It was Pepsi Plus. And it existed. See, and it's Coca-Cola and Pepsi that was planning to start selling new soft drinks that had vitamins added to them. So they both have them. They both certainly have them. What I'm finding impossible is my ability to find any images of the trade dress. There's Coke Plus. No, that's not the one. It's like it. Has the rainbow on it, right? But it wasn't Diet Coke Plus. It was Pepsi Plus. And I don't know if I'm having a Mandela effect here. I don't believe so. I remember it being in the Pepsi trade dress. Oh, that does look pretty familiar. That has the blue labeling on it. Oh, give me a second here. Does Diet Coke Plus still exist? I would be able to confirm. I would be able to confirm via the flavor if it was in fact the fruitiness. What I'm trying to go back after here is the fact that the formulation was delicious. Absolutely delicious. Swear to God, it was Pepsi Plus. Doesn't that sound like the most perfect marketing thing to roll off your tongue ever? Pepsi Plus? I have no fucking idea. This is the kind of shit. It might have been Diet Coke Plus. It's coming. This one comes up at least. It's like there's no way that Pepsi Plus buried every reference of Pepsi Plus. So let's see. Is it still sold? It was discontinued in 2011. I had it in 14. It was Pepsi Plus. The FDA did not want my presumption, because I'm getting into this. Why am I not finding these? The FDA must have had bias against soda companies. Or they were in cahoots. They didn't want 0-calorie beverages, for some reason, to have the same nutritional value and content as a vitamin. my argument here is, in truth, at least I can say what definitely exists here. Diet Coke Plus is so much infinitely better for you than apple juice or orange juice, for example. Would apple juice and orange juice have the same acidic nature of Diet Coke in it that hurts your teeth? But would Diet Coke have no fructose, sucrose, dextrose, any kind of sugar substance in it that would make it less than viable, right? That would make it have a carbohydrate load in it that leads you towards obesity. If you were to drink, say, 6 cans a day, 4 bottles. Six cans a day of regular Coke is like 1,000+ calories. If you eat a normal amount on top of that, you're gonna get big. And would orange juice and apple juice both likely boast 100% vitamin C and maybe a bit of potassium, and if they added calcium, it would have that too. What I have to assert here is that these would be worse still. Because just like the sugar soda that you're trying to avoid your kids drinking, would this have the same carbohydrate load as the fructose, which is, it's still fructose in orange juice and apple juice. It's the same carbohydrate load as orange juice and apple juice. And they would also have the same level of acidity that affects your teeth. So apple juice and orange juice has every bit of damage against your teeth that a regular soda product would. Citric acid fucks up your teeth just as much as... it's not sulfuric, what is it? Acetic? No, it's not acetic. I'm not drinking vinegar. I don't have any Diet Pepsis around me to check. But I need to assert it's on the level. Phosphoric acid. It's phosphoric acid. Diet Coke Plus as a diet soda product would be so much healthier for your kids than apple juice or orange juice. Does it have the same potential for tooth decay with the acid in it? Yes, but it doesn't have the same potential for tooth decay with zero sugar in it. Absolutely no chance of that double on top, that double up of force against the porcelain surfaces of your teeth. And thusly it becomes weird. It is in fact at least a Coke, and I'm pretty sure it was a Pepsi product too, that featured vitamins and minerals and still maintained the flavor and was still 0 calories. And these would have ultimately made it potentially a better source of nutrition than orange juice or apple juice and many other juices, right? But the other than the caloric load of them. But this is where the double standard starts to occur. If this was a regular Coke product and had these vitamins added to it, it would be on par with juice. It would be absolutely on par with juice. It would have better nutritional value than juice. So I then harken back over to this story here of the I read, and the FDA is making problems for Diet Coke specifically, and likely Pepsi too, you just don't read about it. They were utilizing Plus as a means to suggest that it was healthier. And it was. It had vitamins and minerals added to it that were absorbable by the human body, and was it already in solution, so it was incredibly accessible. Why did the FDA not believe that this was an acceptable granular? Why did they say that Plus is not an acceptable marketing term? What the fuck does Plus have to do with it? There's nothing in the common reality of humans here, of Americans, to think that the marketing term Plus has anything to do with a referenced daily intake that would have to do to meet the sufficient requirements of 97 to 98% of healthy individuals in the United States. Whatever thresholds and KPIs you must utilize to regulate that for yourselves must be sorry and miscontrived. Miscontrived is not a word. Contrived. Contrived. Misconcepted. Misconceived. And now I'm squinting really hard at the FDA because it's trying to make it look like it's protecting the consumer. It's trying to make it look like it's protecting the consumer from shoddy false marketing. But it's insane. I assert that this is the FDA not wanting people to become aware that these formulated products with vitamins in it are in fact better for folks like their children than the juice. Why does the FDA want people to get fat? I have no fucking idea. But was it that sometime in the 2010s that all these Plus products, all these vitamin-infused products, they start disappearing? And any chance of Americans getting actually, potentially in something they were already affording, right, in their soda and their weekly soda costs or whatever, because a lot of Americans drink and hydrate primarily on diet soda too. I was one of them. They had an ability to start getting vitamins and minerals regularly without purchasing Centrum, could have gotten more regulating B vitamins. Why did the FDA not want us getting B vitamins? It had nothing to do with this Plus label bullshit. What the fuck is Plus supposed to mean? It means more. Take a look at the back of the package. Retard. No, not referencing those who are globally developmentally delayed. I'm talking about retards. Thank you, Aurora. I really am talking about retards. Did he use the word slow in Italian? Oh, dear God, better drop the hat. Oh, fuck. Woo! I also have to be considerate to the fact, though. I made the point. I'm not talking about those who are globally developmentally delayed. I'm not. And frankly, though, I think globally developmentally delayed is a much more euphemistic term, or it's pejorative sounding. It's much more pejorative sounding than being mentally retarded. But no, just again, when I say retards, I'm not talking about the mentally retarded. Does this unpacking of the statement make it feel more or less offensive to you? I'm just trying to avoid the euphemism treadmill here. Look it up. Hey, wait, real quick. Let's teach about the euphemism treadmill. quote tainted. It's just used as a means as a slur after a while. But we call each other stupid and idiot all the time, with stupid and idiot both medical level terms used by the quackery that made up our medical infrastructure here a little while longer ago. And we utilize the term idiot and stupid all the same. Why can't we use retard? It's not even retarded. But now it's the R word? What? Either way, it's very, very, very important to understand what the euphemism treadmill is, and that these are all... That's funny. Wikipedia used to have a page on the euphemism treadmill. Now I have to find it on Wikimedia? Wiktionary? There used to be an entire page on the euphemism treadmill. Let's see if I can find it here. Nice. Lifespan. Excellent. Coined by Steven Pinker. Woo! 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 Shit! Alright, let's get out of here. Ugh. Feminine hygiene. Feminine protection. Sanitary protection. Family planning. Let's say, what's the point of this? Sign in a Rite Aid drugstore using common euphemisms from top. Contraceptives, vaginal douches, menstrual pads and tampons, adult diapers. They give these words more power as an insult when they fail to use them officially in marketing, is the point. That's how the system that's constantly trying to correct itself to be less potentially offensive actually creates even more offense to be had behind terms like these. This is just vaginal douches. Don't be such a douche. Do you need a tampon? Oh, better go put on your diaper. Wanna go play Contra? I don't know. But even contraceptives now has been like put with these quotes around it as if even this is a euphemism, and it's not. But they have to call it family planning now. That's how they censor contraceptives. And no offense to Rite Aid. This is them trying to be, quote, politically correct with hygiene. You have to be aware how political correctness actually can be used as a means to censor language and make it less direct to what it's trying to say. Which is, in this case, contraceptives, vaginal douches, menstrual pads and tampons, and last but not least, adult diapers. And of course... And they reinforce the concept of these things as taboo when they sanitize language like this. And they think they feel they need to sanitize this. So that's very important here. To get back to what I'm talking about, just at the end of the day, I just wanted to cover my ass there for using the term retard, which I'm not ever going to be changing. But I will always go through the whole roundabout of what I know on that subject, and why it is that it is important that I might still use the term retard, but then explain why I might. I am also differently enabled. I have autism, ADHD, I have oppositional defiance, I happen to be a bit obsessive-compulsive after purposeful torture. I happen to be I have post-traumatic stress, which encircles it. Also, since the torture. So, I have the ability to really, really mean what I'm saying here. When I say, they buried Pepsi Plus. They buried Pepsi Plus. What is this? I'm going through the numbers. They fucking smudged the Pepsi docs. They smudged the Pepsi docs. That sounds fucking delicious. Pepsi White Peach and Oolong. That sounds fucking wonderful. Oh, I bet you that slaps so hard. I would check out Pepsi Peach. I'm going back to the point here that it seems that I've caught the FDA trying to make it look like they're protecting the consumer from shoddy marketing, but really they are limiting the consumer from being able to access beverages with 0 calories that have...
Stop face tracking.
Thank you, Aurora. Beverages with 0 calories that have nutrients and vitamins added to the minerals. They didn't want us to be able to expect our vitamins and minerals from these products. Even though they were 0 calories, even though they're completely safe for us. They're only sweetened with aspartame. I guess also potentially sulfate and potassium. These are cleared by the FDA. All the components in these products have been cleared by the FDA as being more than safe for human consumption. It makes no sense that they would have been bitching about this. Why? Because there was an oligarchical interest to stopping these soda companies from having that place in health. They didn't want them on bias, right? And this is my presumption. They didn't want these soda companies coming through, making it out to be as if they would be healthful when there was still a huge bias being utilized against soda in marketing. And diet soda in marketing, which is why I've been a little bit... a little frustrated when it is that I'm going through this, because I've been fighting for the validity of aspartame's efficacy as an artificial sweetener with 0 calories that's completely safe for human consumption. And there's always going to be an errant misconception over aspartame. That's gotten much thinner, but I need to keep clearing it out. Sucrose is so much fucking worse. It's gonna kill you in comparison. The aspartame would never kill you in comparison to the way sucrose can kill you. Fructose, even natural fruit sugar. You get it from apple juice or you have it from the high fructose corn syrup added to regular Coke, is so much bigger to kill you. So much more likely to kill you over time than aspartame and the Diet Coke. And here was soda industries in the United States of America literally making their products have something of nutritional value. And the FDA issues warning letters over the plus, right? Is it that Coca-Cola and Pepsi both do not have vitamin-infused offerings anymore? I believe that when the FDA went after Coke just for the plus term, they got the picture. This was like a veiled warning letter. Not about using the plus marketing. It was a veiled warning not to sell products with nutrients added to it. You're not allowed to do that. You're the evil bad for your health soda industry. You have to keep being the evil bad for your health soda industry. Because that's how it is that we're cycling our American minds to believe how stuff works. That's what we're doing via our propaganda to always make people wonder. It's the only way. I look into this. It's like, this doesn't... The Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. And there you have it. It was in 1938. 1938 was plus being used added to products back when people were suggesting that ironizing your diet would make you stronger. And people were giving themselves too much iron. They were poisoning themselves from iron. And so the FDA produces this, right? To stop people from fortifying stuff too much and to also regulate how much they would have to fortify stuff when they would use plus marketing. The FDA in 2007 was trying to refer to this 1938 standard for a marketing term, plus, which meant nothing to anybody alive, or at least 95% of the US population by 2007, where plus didn't mean anything anymore. That's where I'm getting to in the end of the day. This is the FDA utilizing the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1938 not to protect the consumer from faulty and false advertising, but to stop the consumers of the United States from ever being able to expect diet soda products that have been fortified with vitamins and minerals. Insanity. But it's all I can say. It's all I can say. And the drink was discontinued November of 2011. AKA, oh, get ready for this, and I'm ending this here. 11/11.